Hello, this is Masculine347, and today I'm going to show off, well, a special sort of slideshow. Basically, I felt maybe it was time I told you a few tips on how to start in YouTube. From my personal experience, basically, from my point of view. There are probably tons of other things of this in YouTube, but I'm just telling you from my point and showing that how I do it and all that. But basically, how to start out on YouTube recording video games. This is specifically for those who want to do Let's Plays, aka playthroughs, or walkthroughs and stuff like that on YouTube. That's basically that. I'm being pretty specific here, so if you're looking to know how to record with a camera or whatever, this isn't the place for you. It's for those who are gamers and just want to show off their skill, or maybe show off how to do certain things on a video game, but without acting like an asshole. You know, I'm looking at you, elitist. But yeah, because I kind of noticed that people who are on YouTube and stuff, who are just starting out, and they use like video cameras, and if it's money, that's perfectly valid, yeah. But if you actually do, if you're not doing it for fun, or you just want to try something different, or something that might be a bit easier, then yeah, this could be just for you. But first off, though, before we begin, I want to tell you the difference between a playthrough and a walkthrough. Let's start with playthrough. Basically, a playthrough is going through the whole game. It can either be with live commentary or not, mostly just for fun. Now, it can be 100% playthrough, which is what I mostly do. It's all I do mostly entirely, either without playthrough with or without live commentary. But even if I do one that is a 100%, well, it's still based off my experience and in some elite expert guide. And that's even when I use the guide in my Final Fantasy 12 playthrough, because I'm telling you now, there are probably a few things in that playthrough I could have done probably a bit better. Yeah, I'm not perfect. But yeah, that's basically a playthrough. Most is going just for fun. Yeah, that's for fun, basically. Those are the two, but the other main one I'm going to talk about, and the one which I will never do, and I'll tell you why now, is a walkthrough. A walkthrough is going through a game as a giant guide. You are telling the person exactly what to do. It is from your experience, but it's a lot more precise. And people go to great lengths to try and do this justice by doing a thing called a practice run. A practice run is just going through the game, obviously without being recorded, but trying to do as much as possible, and also trying to find easy ways to go about doing certain things without getting lost or anything along the way. I don't like to do that because I upload just for fun, but if you're trying to make a living off of YouTube, then I highly recommend you do a practice one first, especially if it's an RPG. Yeah, especially if it's an RPG. But also, another thing, I haven't written this word down, but I will quickly talk about, which is a blind one. A blind one is pretty what you expect, going through the experience, or in this case video game, without any previous experience, not knowing what the game is about. You only heard about it. At most, you probably watched a few videos or maybe a trailer or two, but you still have no idea what the hell the game's about. And stuff like that. And you're not using any guides to help you out. You're just going through it just for pure experience. Like I did when I did Persona 2. Eternal Punishment. Oh, that was a tough kind one. But pretty fun and satisfying. But yeah, those are basically the two main words. So, but yeah, there is a difference. Playthrough and walkthrough are not the same thing. They are two different things. And for the entirety, I pretty much do playthroughs. However, though, enough with the boring jargon. Let's get to the nit and grit of it. What you will need to make what you will need to help you make YouTube videos on gaming. Yes, and these are the most important parts. Because let me tell you right now, if you want to do video games and you're recording off a video camera, no, just know the quality is terrible. I'm sorry, but a capture device or a capture card will always beat a video camera, because the capture device is literally capturing the screen of the television. A camera looks into the television, but you have to make sure it's a perfect. You can't have any sunlight coming through. There's going to be a glare. It's just, terrible. Ugh. Especially if it's off a TV. But yeah, but there are different types of capture devices, and I'm just going to tell you the one that I'm using at the moment, but also the one which I am getting. This one, an AVerMedia Game Capture HD. Now this guy is pretty unique. Very few capture devices are like this, but it's very great. Basically, most capture devices, you either need a laptop or a computer connected to it first, aka through USB or something, and then you connect all your composite or HDMI to the device, and then that's the TV, blah 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 blah. I'm not going through all the technical jargon, because you can look up that yourself on YouTube. Because I did, and believe it or not, it's not that complicated, guys. It really isn't. I think the only annoying part is with all the cables and stuff. Yeah. I remember I had so many plugs, basically, but I finally solved the problem by labeling them all for my game consoles. Yeah, it really saves all the frustration. But anyway, basically, like I said, most capture devices you need a laptop at all times. In fact, that's the previous capture device I said before this was a Roxio one, which is extremely cheap. I had a laptop as well, which I connected it to it, and I used it to record a few games for starters, yeah. But I wanted to use my laptop for my course. You know, my C++ course. And yeah, it'd be annoying to bring the laptop up and downstairs all the time. Ugh, it's just annoying. So I found this. This capture device lets you capture video games without the use of a laptop at all. You can either use a hard drive, we should know what a hard drive looks like, which you can literally just put inside the AVerMedia, or an external hard drive. I'm going to tell you right now, use external, because the whole point of a hard drive, it just seems pointless to me, because you can't take the hard drive out. I mean, you can, but then how are you supposed to get into the computer? Yeah, that's you're going to use an external hard drive anyway, or flash drive, to transfer the data. So you might as well do it from external hard drive. I have a 350 gigabyte one. That should be more than enough. You can have a big one if you want. It should be fine. But once I finish recording or whatever, then I disconnect it and put it on my computer and edit it or whatever. But I get into that later. But it's pretty simple. Yeah. This one also has a nice little remote. You literally just press one to record and then press recording again to start. It's really, really simple. And it's really compatible with our game consoles too. Not all of them though. If it was, then I wouldn't be buying another. Wouldn't need to buy another one. But yeah, it will come with all the necessary cables, which is great. Hopefully it should. However though, it's composite only, which is the 5-colored composite. You should see it when it comes with it. It's pretty simple enough. It's like these 5 colours at the back, and it's also connected to the TV. Not HDMI, no, not like that. That's only for the next gen consoles. But that was a problem. Since it's composite only, I couldn't record my PS4 games at all. Yeah. I record from my other game consoles. I can even record PSP. Yeah, because you have a special cable for the PSP which connects to your TV, which you play your PSP games. So I just use that cable connected to this capture device, and yeah, there we go, got it. Simple. But yeah, it's pretty good, but I have a PlayStation 4 and I will eventually want to record something from the PlayStation 4. And I am not using the recording which automatically does for the PS4 because those are only 50 minutes long and no, I don't want that sort of restraint. So this is what I'm actually getting. Other Media 2. Game Catcher HD 2. I mean, the other media was so great that I just couldn't think of any one to get besides the second one. This one not only lets me record my PS4 games, but also my other games as well, but also allows me to do live commentary on it. You might not notice it, but there's a few circles at the left of the device. That's for my speakers and for the mic, which I can just connect through, and I can capture my voice while recording at the same time. Because up to this point, what I've been doing with my game consoles, except for Path of Radiance, that was with the laptop, but with everything else, I've used a separate recording device, and I'm actually using that same recording device right now to talk to you guys. But it's okay with this, because I'm not editing, I'm not trying to match my voice with me reading the dialogue or something or parts of the gameplay. These are the still pictures, so it doesn't really matter. That's far more easy to edit through. But gameplay wise, that's a lot tougher. I have to make sure that my voice is perfectly matching as possible. If it's just out of sync at one part, then the whole video is out of sync. Yeah, it's really annoying to do, and that's one of the other reasons why I want to get it, because I want to do more stuff with live commentary. But I don't want to do that big of a hassle. That's why I want it. That's why this helps me catch it with me. That'd be fantastic. This would be playing great. Yeah, and let me record PS4 gameplay. It's not bad either. But yeah, guys, you want to capture the device. Don't record off a camera. Don't do that. And you should know for a fact why recording off camera is not good if you've been watching my videos. Because remember, Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance. That was off a video camera. Never again. Oh God, never again. Oh, imagine if I did Fire Emblem Awakening with a camera. I mean, when I do a Fire Emblem game, I take my time doing strategies and stuff and looking around. Yeah, they're pretty long. I'm not some quick guy that speeds on through. I like thinking and stuff and showing you guys what I might want to do and all that. Unless I have to pause it or something. So imagine doing that recording of a camera, not a capture device. That'd be hell. So no. Yeah, never again. But there is one more type of capture device. Well, should I say capture card? A capture card is what actually connects strictly for your computer. A capture card is basically something that sticks onto your motherboard when you open up your computer, and then you add it in and you screw it on. You have to install software and drivers. Like I said, blah blah blah, technical jargon. But I highly do not recommend this, not so ever, because there are so many variables you have to consider. For starters, is the capture card even compatible with your computer? You have to worry about a capture device being compatible for the most part. They'll have to install it as well, but not really that much of a problem, to be fair. No. It's because that's usually more of an operating system, but that's not the important part. Would your computer be able to handle that capture the card? Yeah. Does have the right requirements. You don't need special requirements for a capture device besides maybe the right operating system. So unless all of you are watching this on Windows 98, which I highly doubt, then you should be okay. But yeah, that's the problem. And also connecting it in and making sure it's all connected, and you never worry about a capture device. Whether you connect it to a laptop, computer, or in my case the ones which I just showed you, which don't require any computer to record. Yeah, so I'm showing these guys there anyway, but seriously, don't consider it, because you actually need a computer for this. So yeah, And if your computer is not in your bedroom, or it's like a family computer or something, then this is really just a bad idea all around. Really bad. But yeah, next up, and also the most important thing is, after you've recorded, even though you've recorded and stuff, there might still be a bit of errors and stuff and like that on it, and like that. Maybe like you had to backtrack to get a certain item, or maybe you had to pause or something because someone was calling you or whatever. Or maybe the game just crashed and you had to restart from a certain point and you had to edit two parts of a video together. Well, that's where a video editor comes in, and this is the one I actually use, which is Movie Studio Platinum. This is the one that I use. Now, I warn you that because this is there are many different versions. This is the one I use, but there are different types, all types of video editors. The ones that are free, but I bought this one, not that expensive, so it's fine. Ages ago. Yeah, I bought this one, but I warn you that when you install it and you look into it, it is huge. There is so much to do. To this day, I still haven't learned everything there is on Sony Vegas. That's like another version, or Sony Movie Studio, because there's so much. I still haven't learned everything I need to know about it. So yeah, it's a big learning process. But because there's so much to do, there's a lot more that you can edit. You can be a lot more imaginative, and it's a lot more flexible as well. There's a ton of settings. There's you can easily sync up your commentary if you're recording it separately like I am. You can add music, you can mute, you can you can widen the videos, you can stretch it out and look at the little chords specifically to try and match up your commentary perfectly. Or you can zoom in so that there's no black bars in between, like in this clear example. But in this case, if I stretched it out, then it would look a bit more obvious, which is why I haven't stretched it out. But yeah, you need a video editor to cut out parts you don't need. Maybe add commentary, because you might want to do post commentary instead, which is different. Live commentary is when you're talking at the same time as playing a video game, which is pretty much what I do most of the time. Post commentary is where you just record it as usual, but then you play it back, you watch it with yourself, and then you talk to yourself while watching it, because you already recorded it. That's the only difference. Live commentary has advantages because you're doing it all at the same time, but because you're talking while playing, you won't get as much concentration. You should know that from personal experience, because I've done live commentary. Post commentary, however, since you're not talking until after the video is done and we're recording it, you can pretty much just concentrate on the game itself. However, though, because depending on how long the video is, you have to rewatch the whole video again while talking over it. So there's that to consider. Which is why I prefer live commentary, because you notice that when I do videos, I most likely don't cut the slack. I don't make 10 or 50-minute videos at a time. I usually make like half an hour, maybe even an hour long videos, pretty much like long plays, as it were. That's just how I am. That's how I like to play. That's my playing style. But you don't do it like that. You could cut your videos in half, like half an hour or something. It's your choice. It's going to be your channel. You do what you want. But that's just me. But yeah, you're going to want to cut something out. I'm sorry, but anyone that just records a video on YouTube, then just uploads it without even any sort of editing, even though there might be mistakes, we were talking in the background, that is the epitome of lazy. Really lazy. Unfortunately, some things, it does happen sometimes. There might be people talking in the background, annoying you, because especially doing live commentary, and you're going to have to edit that out sometimes. Something is impossible. These things happen. It's beyond your control, you know. But if it's like needless backtracking or something, or really long loading screens or waiting times, you can edit that stuff out. Why make the people watch through that? That's a horrible thing to do. Don't be that person. Don't be lazy. Put some effort. It will show. Trust me, it will. But yeah, As for how the video is going to work, YouTube, it is your absolute best friend. I watched a ton of YouTube videos when I was starting out with my video editor, know exactly which settings work for me. I'm not going to tell you my settings because they might not work for you. Everyone's different, especially their computer, or what codec they have, video codec, which is basically the type of video, like maybe it might be MP3, MP4, maybe WMV, which I tell you right now is a piece of shit. Do not use WMV. Not ever. No. No. It may cut the overall size of the video, but the rendering time is ridiculous. So don't do that. No. I wish I learned that sooner, but no. But also, but with that comes my next part. You're going to have to experiment, most likely with your video editor. Yeah, you're going to have to tweak a lot of settings, not just look at YouTube channels, but also look into yourself, find out a few things, do a few practices and stuff. You're going to have to mess around quite a lot until you find a setting that works just for you, and I do that quite a lot. But when you do, things will become a lot easier, because once you have the right settings how to record your videos from the video game, you can just record, edit what you want to edit. You have the settings already saved. You can just render what you want to, you cut out what you want to do, add stuff, maybe type in text boxes, make special effects, blah blah blah. Since you already have all your good settings, you need to render it, then wait it out and upload it to YouTube. For the most part. But which brings me to another thing. Make sure that the setting that you're using, which codec is suitable with YouTube, but YouTube should show you an entire list of what you can use and like that. So yeah, you can go over YouTube for that. And then comes the next part. We're almost done, folks, because I cannot stress this enough. Don't practice until you get it right. Practice until you can't get it wrong. Very true. Yeah, at the beginning, the first videos, don't expect tons and tons of people to just jump in and go, whoa, this guy's amazing, going something straight away. It's going to take time. It will take time. And a lot of practice too. Look at the videos that you're uploading on YouTube for yourself. Look back at them. Think, what could I do better? What could I improve? And stuff like that. Maybe make other practice videos and stuff. Experiment. Remember that your computer can also be a potential game console. You could try an emulator or something. It's a suggestion. I'm not going to tell you to find emulators. That is your business. And stuff like that. You could try PC games or whatever. Make sure you have a capture software. That, once again, I'm not telling you guys about that because it's mostly do games with game consoles, but that's just a suggestion which I want to do. In fact, that's what I did mostly before I switched to game consoles. But yeah, very, very important to just keep at it. And don't give up. You can do it. Which is the next part. Don't give up. I'm not just talking about not lack of views. I'm also talking about trolls. Yeah, we all heard of them. Assholes, elitists, people that think they're better than you. Blah blah blah. It says, no, you're doing that wrong, you fucking dipstick. Blah blah blah. Yeah, as an example. But basically, you're going to have to ignore those guys. It doesn't matter who you are on YouTube. Eventually they will find you and just annoy the shit out of you. Maybe not me as much because not as popular, but if you are actually more popular than me, then you're going to expect people that are going to be hating you, people that are disliking videos just for the sake of disliking them. Complete trolls, assholes. You're just going to have to deal with it and take it with a grain of salt. Remember, you are creating something, so that if naturally people who might not give constructive criticism will also just be complete assholes. Yeah, Yeah, and that's the other important thing actually. Make sure you distinguish between name calling and constructive criticism. As in, people saying you spelled that wrong or something. That's not being an asshole, that is helping. If someone tells me that I spelled something wrong, then I will thank them, because then people won't get confused what this video is called. But yeah, that's okay. You're not being a grammar Nazi. No. That's being helpful. Or if someone's giving you other tips in a constructive way, like saying maybe you could try that instead, or maybe give you useful advice and tips, or tell you a secret in the game you didn't know about, which is nice, or just some trivia, which is cool. But yeah. And the worst possible thing, which did happen to me, and I remember the video specifically on it, was someone sending a death threat. And it's the absolute worst and annoying thing. To deal with them, you need to block them. You don't want to keep those assholes on YouTube, or at least on your YouTube page. If they're sending death threats saying you go kill yourself, blah 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 blah, I'm not going to get into it because it's depressing as it is. Just block them. Get rid of them. Or you could do what I did as well, not just block them permanently, but also just humiliate them on the internet, which I did. And strange as a result, I haven't had any death threats ever since. It'd be quite fun if I actually got one because of this video, but yeah, I'm just saying that's just how I dealt with it. But yeah, keep trying, eventually you'll get there. Also, like I said, getting subs, it's going to take time. Try not to be too forceful or something. Just be a bit more gentle in going on YouTube. Remember, there are other media sites like Facebook. I'm not really into that sort of thing. I mean, I do have a Facebook page, but it's not like I'm going to join every single type of media. I mean, I never joined Twitter. But yeah, that's just my preference. And basically, that's some of my advice for YouTube. If any of you have any other advice for any newbies out there who just want to start out in gaming, please comment below. That'd be fantastic, Or if you have any questions, anything I need to explain, and I'll try my best to type in the comment or that as well. But yeah, the other thing about practice, especially with live commentary, even now, today, my commentary isn't exactly the most amazing thing in the universe. I still stutter a bit and I repeat myself. I know I repeat myself. And basically just forget what I just said from time to time because it can be a little nerve-wracking. But yeah, that's also the point in practice which you really need to get on board with. But yeah, basically... I hope this advice helped, and like I said, you can put any comments down below. But see, I'm repeating myself right now. But anyway, with that, this is Mastery347, and I hope you enjoyed my video on how to start out on YouTube for those who want to put the video games on their own channel.